Hi, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to our collective reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't, and any interaction with the channel is fabulous. Likes, emojis, all of that. I very much appreciate that. Okay, well, we're going to just start off here with Work Your Light. Let's see what we have for us this week. Do we have anything for us this week? Okay. All right. We have 3 cards here, all coming out together as a piece. Mirror. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And trust the niggle. What's the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So, looks like you've been triggered. Part of this trigger is an intuitive hit on something. You are onto something here with this so part of the what is mirror, part of this card is projection, right? It's like the Rorschach blotch of cards. It's like what you are seeing is a reflection of you. So when you, not always, but sometimes in this particular situation, when you are triggered by something, you are actually maybe projecting, like maybe, you wouldn't be happy with this situation. So you're telling someone else, oh no, I don't think you're going to be happy with this situation. When in fact, it's you that's not going to be happy with this situation. Or you see something in somebody else that you do, but it bothers you more when they do it, right? And so it's easy to spot. There's an idea called you spot it, you got it. So it's something that you're noticing about yourself, but you're externalizing it and noticing it about someone else. So that's not always the case. We can be annoyed and spot things that other people do that we do not do, but it is something to look into, especially with this card showing up. So something, you're seeing your own reflection in something, and this talks about being triggered by that, or being having a strong emotional response to seeing something of yourself in somebody else. And then boundaries, though, this is like, even if it is an aspect of yourself, you do need to be saying no to things, not allowing, see all of these hands pulling on the energy. So we had the hand last week of healing, healing energy through the hands, and these are pulling energy. These are, so we can give energy and we can pull energy. These are things trying to pull on you, and you need to put a stop to it. So it's almost like, just because you are triggered, and it might have something deeper to say to you, this trigger does, that doesn't mean you have to go along with it and be okay with it. That's what I'm seeing, is even though it might be something that you're responding to, and with the mirror, it does seem to be like a reflection of you or something like that. But even so, you don't have to let someone walk all over you. You can be like, I do that too sometimes, but I'm not going to let you do it. And yeah, maybe just having to, it's not a full call back your energy. It's not a full cord cutting. So it's not cutting somebody out. It's just saying, hey, that's going to be enough there, or I need to focus on something else and I need to let this go and have a boundary around this. Or not let it go, but just not deal with this right now. So there's she's got her hands up. We call these crosswalk arms. So my son believed when he was a child, when he was like 2 or 3, that he had crosswalk powers, which is actually kind of a dangerous thing to do. So he felt like if he walked onto this striped thing and put his hands out, he was stopping the cars, and that they had to stop because it was the power from his hands. Anyway, that's what it's reminded me of, is crosswalk powers. Stop. I mean, it was nice of the cars to stop, but they didn't have to. So we had to explain that. You still have to look both ways and stuff like that. So, but crosswalk powers here. is what we call that, of like, nope, stop, don't go any further here. That's going to be enough. Yeah, you have a right to this. And then with this coming in, trust the niggle, you have an intuition about something. You do need to put a boundary up. There is this, inner knowing. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And maybe until you figure that out, you do need to have like, let's put a hold on this. Maybe not sharing everything with everybody. Maybe not. Yeah, it's about being upset about something. That upsetness is valid. It's something real. And you're feeling uncomfortable, perhaps like in your gut, something feels wrong here, something doesn't feel good. And until you can figure that out, it's saying boundaries. So it's not saying cut the cords, it's not saying anything like that. It's saying crosswalk powers, let's stop here. Let's just stop a minute. Something doesn't feel right. Let's stop. Something doesn't feel right. You're upset about something, and it could be projection, or it could be someone projecting onto you their own issues, and you're putting a stop to it. You're like, that's not right. That's not how I feel. That's not how I feel. I think it's very important right now to be in touch with how you feel. This is what's yours and what's somebody else's. Yes, that's exactly what these three cards together are saying. The mirror, the niggle, something somebody else's. It's not yours. It's not yours to carry. And you need to be like, hey, that's an issue for you because you're trying to put that issue on me and you need to take care of that issue yourself. That's not something that I'm going to take on. So not taking on, so it might be somebody else. What I'm getting now very clearly is it might be someone else that's triggered and you're sensing that there's something wrong with something that's going on here. It doesn't feel right to you. And you're going to need to distance yourself from somebody, or at least be like, hey, this sounds like this is not my problem. This is not originating from me. This seems to be more originating from you. And it's a polite way to say that it sounds like a you problem, which is a very rude thing to say and doesn't, have a sense of joint forces or coming together to work with something together. So yeah, we don't want to be saying to people we love and care about, that sounds like a you problem, but there is some aspect of that where it might not be you that's creating that's having the problem, and you might have to put a boundary. What's yours? What's somebody else's? And with this mirror card, it seems like it might be a little confused about what's yours and what's somebody else's. So you're just going to have to trust your instincts here and put up a boundary about what you're willing to carry and what you're not willing to carry. Well, so not my favorite start to reading, but let's see what happens. We're working on now, it's my favorite from a long time ago. Oh, Oracle of Mystical Moments. All right, actually we're gonna go like this. So just one or two cards for us. Those first cards out just are such a foundation for the rest of the reading and usually have a lot to say to me. All right, House of Flowers. Oh, well, isn't this surprising? This is lovely. A lovely card, a partnership. This always looks like friendship to me. But there's something surprising here. There's a mundane issue and there's some surprising creativity that pops out, right? We have this 4 square house, this very organized, situated home. But there's something surprisingly beautiful popping out in the middle of it. It always reminds me of like the biscuit rolls where the biscuit you twist it and the biscuit pops out in this very surprising way. I'm almost hearing a pop. And then we have this friendship, the support. It's very beautiful. And it's something that interrupts the mundane There's Jack. They're interrupting the mundane. The routine. The routine is disrupted in such a beautiful way, though. These roses? Yeah. They're not peonies, they're roses. These roses create a beautiful, surprising breakthrough. The house is not of flowers, but the flowers have taken over the house. Interesting. I was not expecting that after this first little bit, which is exactly the point of this, is this like, these flowers are here, these roses are here, they're unexpected, they're a surprise, they're supportive. They're like in the middle of the work, in the middle of the mundane, in the middle of something a little bit drab and difficult. These flowers come in just beautiful. Kind of to overwhelm the situation. I can almost smell them actually while I am wearing roses, rose perfume, but I can smell these roses. They're refreshing. Heavenly. All right, and then from the Urban Crow deck, which is usually our kick the door down deck, but here we have the kick the door down situation, or kick in the door. I don't know, it's from like this game called Munchkins that I used to play with my kids. You start your turn by kicking down the door, or you can. Oh, wow, exposed. Oh, this is interesting, because last week we had this exact red-tailed hawk in the strength card. They were staring each other down. There was a lot of courage and strength involved in staring this down. Now the vulnerability is here. Exposed. Something is left vulnerable, left open to something else, to another energy. There's also a sense of being abandoned here, being cornered, out on your own, right? The rest of them are all flying away, but you didn't get the message that it's time to fly, and now here comes something dangerous, something intimidating. You're left, or somebody here is left feeling very exposed, very vulnerable. They can fly away, I think. I don't see, there's no obvious injury here. But they have caught the eye of a powerful force. They are separated from the group. I'm not sure this is you. Because exposed also seems to me to be about a truth being revealed that leaves someone very vulnerable. And maybe that's what has to happen. Distance. Exposed and distance. Interesting. This distance reminds me of these boundaries, putting some distance between you and something. Maybe someone who's done something that's being revealed. Maybe there's some travel, there's some distance here. I don't know how this House of Flowers comes in the middle of all this. There's exposed, distance, boundaries, trust the niggle. Okay, so you've got this idea that there's something going on, and maybe the truth is being exposed, and you're putting some distance between you and this. Like, oh, hell no, I do not want to be part of this. Like, I'm trusting my instincts, I'm going this direction. I'm not going to be part of this. And maybe there's some emotional distance, and that's what the boundaries need to be. It's this like, actually, I'm going to need my space right now. It feels almost like something was exposed, is being exposed. And it could be someone being exposed and needing to keep your distance. I'm uncomfortable with this energy on the table here. It's an uncomfortable energy. There's a distance here that must be created or is going to happen. All right. We're going to move on to Tiger Breathing Bears deck. Always, not always, but mostly, usually 99% of the time, really fun to work with. Exposed and distance. All of this is about something coming up that creates some sort of distance between people. Maybe very surprising. All right. Tiger Breathing Bears deck. From the bottom of the deck, we have He Who Knows It All. Emperor. The know-it-all. The arrogant. Perfectionist. It's not the best reading of Emperor I've ever seen in a card, but I picked this deck for a reason. So He Who Knows It All. It could be the Magician too. Maybe it is the Magician. Secrets. And the way it's laying out on the table, it's right on this exposed thing. Someone's exposed for... I mean, just because you're a charlatan doesn't also mean that you're aren't magical. Like, just because you were framed doesn't mean you didn't also do it. There's someone very arrogant here. Boss energy. You can be a know-it-some around me, but you can't be a know-it-all. When you declare yourself an expert on every topic, that's where you lose me. It's just arrogant. Past, present, inner landscape. Oh, look at me, I'm doing this. Past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. What on earth? What on earth? Everything is topsy-turvy, upside down. I thought it was upside down. I switched it around. It's interesting, the mirror here, because everything's the whole top row. Oh, I can't change it either, and I want to. The whole top row is upright, and then the bottom row is reversed. And then if I'd left the deck the way it was, the whole top row would have been reversed, and the whole bottom row would have been upright. So it's exactly this mirror situation. And not only that, but I was working with this deck last night and I went through the whole thing and made everything upright. Like, I was like, oh, it all got confused. And so then I went through it, and then now it's just confused again. I'm going to read it the way it is. I don't know, maybe it was supposed to be the other way, but here it is. All right. Coming right on the heels of He Who Knows It All, we have a monster in the recent past. What is that? The monster, the devil? It's someone, something has to be learned. This monster has to learn to put their arms down. They can't be big, scary. Oh, He Who Knows It All. This could be the Magician because it's got the smoke screen going on here. This, I know everything, but it's this smoke and mirrors. Everything's smoke and mirrors, illusions, and this is an illusionist. I like this exposed card. I like that the illusionist is sitting right on the exposed card, because then we're getting a nice, clear exposure. That exposure may make you feel very vulnerable, or may make this other person feel very vulnerable. The monster, we've been dealing with something. With the He Who Knows It All, I don't know, this seems like such a friendly monster, maybe a little bit of a confused monster. It's just like, oh, I have to keep my arms down or everyone's going to be scared. Because when I go like this, everyone screams and runs away from me. So I have to keep my arms down. It's like a monster that's trying to tame itself. Maybe it's the strength card. I don't know. But it's having to learn how to tame itself, it has these scary instincts, but instead it's having to like pull those in and learn some self-control, because it kind of has a scary aggressiveness in its. So I'm not sure if this is you. Are you he who knows it all? You think you know everything? Are you smoke and mirrors? The monster wants something. The monster has a dream and a vision, but it can't chase after it. It has to sort of, because it just scares it away when it chases after something. It's kind of a confused and discombobulated monster. I think this is a person that you know, or maybe it's even you, that's just very confused about what you are. You can't chase after things because then you just scare the things that you're running after, right? It's like a game of tag on the elementary school playground. Like, you know, we had boys chasing girls, and I remember being really upset about it and people being like, well, don't run. I'm like, but they're running after me. Like, don't run away from them. This is just like, what? How do you not run away from something that's chasing you? And so this monster seems like it would have been chasing after something, and now it's like, oh, I guess I can't do that. Okay. Trying to figure this out. How do I get what I want without chasing after it? But it just scared me, right? To have boys chasing after you. It was scary. What else was there to do but run? And somehow it was a game. This terrifying game. Yeah, so it's this chasing, but not chasing, but still having a desire, still wanting something, and kind of being confused about how to go about getting it. Here we have the world, big fat ending right now. It's big. There's winners and losers. There's some peace. It's the end of the day. The rotation is complete. There's an upside down heart. It's almost like two people going to sleep. Right? That's what I'm seeing here, is like two people. These are their mouths. One saying ha, and the other one's like, I don't know, belching or something. There's some peace here. I don't know, the world, there's an ending. There's the whole big world. But there's this hint of this boundary here already, where we have this mountain range and the sun is setting behind the mountain range. There's this big boundary and the sun is setting behind there. Then we have hopes, fears, inner landscape, 4 of earth. That's very protective energy. This is what your hopes, your fears, you're hoping to protect what you have. You're hoping to hold on to what you have. You sense danger. What's this niggle feeling telling you? You sense danger about. And so it puts you into very protective mode, almost overprotective mode of like, But this boundary too, this protective boundary of like, ooh, these are my eggs, and this fox is not going to get my eggs. This is mine. These are my things. This fox is not coming to get them. And how do I prevent the fox from getting them? It's pulling them in. This is no risk taking. So I think now you're seeing, you don't have the feeling right now, and you don't have the cards right now for taking a risk. It's a very protective boundary energy. And maybe this is what you're hoping, is that you can hold your boundaries, you can protect what you have, you can protect what's yours from what appears to be a predator coming in. Well, I mean, how else is a chicken supposed to feel about a fox? Custodian of flowers. Queen of Cups. It's upright. What's at issue? It's always very private. Feelings growing in the heart. Journaling. It's this opposite energy. He who knows it all. And this very private, I feel like maybe this is where the boundary is around your heart. But we also have House of Flowers. And we have Custodian of Flowers. I'm taking custodian, like the housekeeper, the homemaker, the quiet, introspective love and feelings. This one's brash and loud and big and showy. Like, here's my magic trick, you know, and it's distraction. It's showing off. It's display. This is so quiet though, and it sits on the other side of this whole reading. And there's almost a mountain range between them, hopefully. It's this very quiet homemaker, homebody energy. It has to do with home. It has to do with taking care of the home and taking care of the heart. And I'm reminded of home is where the heart is. And that feels really powerful to me today. In the environment, you have 9 of Flowers. It's reversed, and it's like impotence. It's not being proud of yourself, so somebody here isn't happy with themselves right now. They are not happy with this ending. They are not happy they're definitely not happy, and they've had some drooping. There is some drooping here. They're not excited about something, maybe about you, maybe about the situation. They're very disappointed, not excited, maybe even ashamed and embarrassed about something. They're not happy with their performance. They're not happy with what they did. I mean, maybe they came in with He who knows it all and did this big magic trick, put on a big display, and it just wasn't a big display. It just wasn't that great. Yeah, there's some really disappointed energy here, external to you, very disappointed, and ashamed and embarrassed energy. I don't think that's your responsibility or something you need to carry. If someone ended up promising a lot and delivering a little, what responsibility do you have for those promises and that delivery? That's not yours. Your to-do list, Ace of Earth, don't start anything new. Interesting. Don't start anything new. There's no potential. Wow, the world with the Ace of Earth underneath it is just like, wow. This sun is not rising. This is so disappointing. Ace of Earth, there's no potential. You're not starting anything new. There's no new journey. There's no new potential here. The seed hasn't been planted. Yeah, you're not pregnant. The seed hasn't been planted. This isn't. It's like the sun didn't rise, actually. It's like a day where the sun didn't rise. Nothing's coming up here. And there's nothing new here. It's just, this seed did not germinate. You're not starting anything new anyway. Don't go off starting something new. If there's an ending, don't jump into the next thing. There's just something, it's like a stillborn idea. It's like it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. And what's possible outcome of Six of Earth reverse? I don't like this reading at all. I want a new one. Six of Earth reversed. No gifts. No exchange. No equal exchange. Imbalance. Wow, it's really interesting because in the upright, you just put out your bucket and these gifts come. It's trick or treat. All you have to do is put on a sheet and you get all of this great stuff. And then in the reverse, it looks like you tripped and you fell and you're dumping out your whole bucket. You've tripped and you've fallen. It's a dumping out of the bucket. That's a loss. This could be like, don't go get a new job. Something's over, but don't go get a new job. Don't go get a new thing. Don't buy something new. Don't get a new person. Don't get a new place. Don't get a new car. Don't get a new something. So your to-do list is to not start anything new. Don't start anything new. And there's like some sort of karmic loss coming in. I don't know if it's for you or for somebody else. Easy come, easy go. How strange. What an unpleasant little reading here. This house of flowers, though, that's beautiful. This custodian of flowers is very beautiful. So we've got some good stuff right here. Some things I like. Protective energy, hoping to be able to protect yourself from something, from this loss perhaps, this coming bucket getting dumped over. But Six of Earth in reverse isn't bad either. There's still candy. There's still, you can put it back in. It's just, maybe you're giving a gift. But it does seem like there's an imbalance. And with the exposed, the costume, the loud, brash magician here, there just seems to be something amiss that is going to be righted, I want to say, but it's not going to be, like, it sits under this Four of Earth, so it is like there's a loss of some kind. It seems material. I don't know, it almost seems like, in a way, blocking your blessings, but there's nothing here that says to be open and... okay, well, we're just going to move on. Let's see if we can get we're going to get an auspicious omen. Ladybug. Whew, this is a great auspicious omen. It's little, but ladybug, beloved ladybug lands nearby to remind you about happiness and positive change. Great. I needed that reminder here, looking at this Ace of Earth reversed and this, like... It's so interesting because the mirror image of this reading would be so positive. It'd be like a monster getting control of themselves, somebody getting the control of themselves. It would be a large completion of something. It would be not being worried about your resources, not being overly protective of your resources. It would be about somebody who has some ingrown feelings, so some feelings that aren't positive. The person in your environment would be excited and interesting. You'd be starting something new and gifts would be coming in. if the monster, it's almost like if the monster learns how to control itself. If it doesn't, then this is the way it goes. So it's like this mirror image would be so positive, would be such a positive thing. So I feel like two possibilities here. That there's that we're seeing a possibility, but what's happened is there's a lot, there is a lot of potential. There was a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential